Ooh, up next we have these wonderful sketched or colored sketched portraits of J&T villains. Here's E.G. from episode 6. Yeah, looking cool. And my computer decided to chime in. Great. Here's Rush Limburger, a parody of Rush Limbaugh. But he was the bad guy in episode 13, the ninja one. Well, I decided to have Rizzo be a supporting character, but he was the bad guy. This guy, Rush Limburger, he was practically controlling, or blackmailing, I should say, Rizzo, doing his dirty work. He's a businessman, who wants to assassinate his competitors. Here he is smoking a cigar, the bastard. But I decided to scrap him because he's he serves no purpose in J&T. In fact, this portrait here it exists in episode 2 remake, if I can find it. I put it in the background somewhere. There it is, right here, the background. So his portrait is in the junkyard. Rush Limburger. Here's Sabretooth looking like a frog, and his mouth is all the way is shifted all the way to the side for some reason. But yeah, good old Sabretooth. Harry Nugget. Cool. Here's DJ Seed again. I love the composition of this one and the movement. Wow, there's I just like the looseness of these portraits here. All colored in the Crayola marker. I remember. Lola Watson. Once again, here she is brandishing her gun, gonna shoot people with it because she's crazy and evil. She drives a Ram 3500. Alright, here's Mr. Dawes again. He looks he looks more menacing nowadays. I mean, if I actually drew him in my little Halloween picture this year, so he's a lot more detailed nowadays. But back then, I just decided, I just went with it. Even the little worms, coming out of his skull was like not so intimidating, but still, the concept was still there. Captain Starla, without her hat, but yeah, she was still gonna be a bad guy here. She still is a villain, only she's one of those redeemable villains because she does have a sad backstory. But here her fist is on fire because she does have fire powers, as shown in episode 15. Here is a scrapped bad guy. Her name is Flore. She is a elf girl disguised as a Girl Scout. She has a magic wand that grants wishes, whatnot. Yeah, she was going to manipulate Maria and her friends to joining her, but I decided to scrap it because, she has no purpose in the current narrative, And here's EG2. Yeah. EG was rebuilt and turned into this, and look at that S. That is the old school millennial S that we would draw back in elementary school. Yeah, so he's looking pretty intimidating. And here's Marianne and Caitlin. No, not Marianne and Caitlin. I forgot their names already. Caitlin and Amy, that's it. Yeah, this duo, they were the cult leaders in that Cult College episode. So I decided to scrap them. Same thing, same deal. They didn't really belong. They also kind of remind me of Panty and Stocking. And here's Sam, her old design when she had that chest, very huge. But yeah, this Blues bully, which she eventually became Jaffa Taylor's bully. Let's see here. Yeah, I decided to shrink her chest just to, for decency's sake, Anyway, here's Violet, Maria's old bully. She's all purple, and she kind of looks like Timmy Turner with those teeth. Yeah, not much to say. Oh man, it's DJ, only he's Super DJ. He's all buffed out and has powers. He's about to throw a fireball. Yeah, and here's regular DJ. He's about to throw his fireball, even though this is supposed to be regular DJ. I don't know. Maybe DJ will in the future he'll have he'll gain superpowers to throw fireballs. That's what he wants, you know. Not only he can knock out people with a kick, he can throw fireballs. That'll be awesome. But yeah, I also love the movement in this one. Ralph Bronson and his spyware puppet. You know, he's growing his beard out. You know. Episode 13, Ralph Bronson. He is a crazy dude. Oh my goodness, here's Jenny. That's right, Jenny was going to be a villain at some point because there's going to be a sequel episode where Jenny turns into her own character. It's almost like Jeff cloned himself, only it's a successful clone, but she's a female and she has evil tendencies. So it's not really a successful clone, but yeah, and she dresses up like this, very scantily clad. I'm glad I got rid of that concept. Here's Money Man. Forgot his role in the comic, but I think he's supposed to be a big investor in Team Starhammer. These kids, they no longer exist in J&T, but they're practically evil kids. Cassidy was supposed to babysit them, but they, you know, made her job a living hell. You know, they're just a couple of hellraisers. These kids, no superpowers or anything. They just love to torture their babysitters. Oh boy, here's the GTV. Has an all-seeing eye. Yeah, the GTV. And here's Ghost Girl. Looking scraggly, you know. Yeah, she was about to be a villain, but now she's a very sympathetic character. She might appear again, who knows. Maybe in a flashback or a dream sequence. Blue's cousin Carla. Look at that, she used to have that big chest too, and then I shrunk it down because, I don't know, it seems like only the West End girls can have the large chests, you know. And here's Sophie. Yeah, I consider her a villain, even though she's like, you know, just some... She's more of an annoyance rather than a villain. You know, just in the school. Oh boy, here's more of that cool movement, but here's Evil Holly. Yeah, she's going on a bloody rampage. And here we go, last but not least, the G Station. This is a nice portrait of the gaming station, man. The sentient gaming station. Wow. Pretty cool. Alright, so I wanted to show this off. Basically, I'm going to give you a brief summary of how I make a comic here. And what goes into a Jeff and Taylor episode. So here's episode 17, Blue vs. Carla. Here's the script. I write it down. I write the dialogue. I don't get into too much details on what goes into a panel, but here's how I determine what goes into what. Let's see. I can pull out a. Here we go. Here are the thumbnails, which aren't really thumbnails. They're just, you know, page layouts. And let me see if I can turn it to page 16, since that is relevant to this example. So here we go. How I determine what goes into where. All the half circles is they're supposed to represent a panel. So I imagine what goes into the panel, how it looks like. Okay, like this one right here. It's a large. I imagine it's a large establishment shot. So it's supposed to be big. So see page 16 right here. You can barely see it, but it's supposed to be a big panel on the bottom. So, and then I put this bracket here, page 16. So page 16 contains all this here. You see? And after that, I go to the computer. I work in Clip Studio Paint. I make the page layout, you know, make the panels, and then I do the rough sketch, which is the, you know, just drawing out the gesture lines. And then after that, I draw the details on how the characters look and some of the backgrounds. And then after that, I ink it. I put some dialogue balloons, you know, word balloons. It's a nice little shortcut for me just so I have less to ink, you know. Then after that, I do the colors. I color the characters first. And then after that, I put in the shading of the characters. And then after that, I draw in the backgrounds and color the backgrounds. And then after that, I turn that page, that Clip Studio file, into a JPEG. And then I import that JPEG into Adobe InDesign. And that's where I put my letters. So I write it down. You know, write down the dialogue. I do it all at once in InDesign, and then I export it as a JPEG, and it is a finished picture, a finished page. And there you have it. That's what goes into a Jeff and Taylor comic, an episode. And usually these episodes are on average 15. And usually these episodes are about 50 pages long, so you can tell it takes a long time. If I actually worked on this full time and worked every day, on average, a 50-page episode would take me about 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, it all depends on what goes into it, of course, but that's how long it took. And I mean, 8 weeks, that's how long it took episode 2 remake, and actually worked on that every day. 8 weeks for a 52-page comic, so that was quite a feat. I'm so happy how that turned out. That was one of my most productive days, and around that time, that was a very happy time in my life. Very nostalgic, you know. It was late summer, early fall of 2020 when I made that. Oh, how's it going? I am JFM Studios, the creator of this very comic you see right before you, Jeff and Taylor. Oh yeah, it's been 20 years. That's 20 years since I created this. It was just a simple idea, 2 teenage boys on misadventures. And then I just evolved into something chaotic, something epic, something out of this world, really. So, in this video, I'm going to show you a whole bunch of B-roll from previous specials and anniversaries, and just explaining to you guys how I created this, the characters, the quickies, the episodes, and basically we're just going to have fun. Dang it. So, without further ado, this video right here, it is Jeff and Taylor's 20th anniversary. Enjoy. Now I know what you're thinking, JFN, or whoever you are. How did this idea come about? Why did you create this seemingly overdone concept of 2 best friends on misadventures? You know, well, I don't know. It just started that way. You know. First, let's go to the very beginning. This was before the big poster of 2004, when I created the official concept. I created Jeff as a little avatar of me as a Pokemon trainer. You know, he would go on Pokemon adventures, whatnot. I imagined, this is like my own little fan art or something, my own fan fiction, really, of me on a Pokemon adventure. You know. I don't know. I can't do this. I can't do this. How's it going? This is JFM Studios here. Oh. How's it going? I am JFM Studios, the creator of this webcomic that you see right before your eyes. Oh, excuse me. How's it going? How's it going? My name is JFM Studios, the creator of this comic you see right before your very eyes. That's right. And this video is a special one because we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of Jeff and Taylor. It's gonna be a fun one. Oh yeah. So, yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome new people and old fans. It's going to be a fun video. We're going to learn about the history of J&T. We're going to learn about the characters, how I created the stories, what I thought of it, the old scrapped stories from 4 and all that jazz. It's going to be a fun video. I don't know how long it's going to be. Probably 30 minutes, possibly an hour-ish. So, without further ado, this is Jeff and Taylor's 20th anniversary. So how did this start? Well, the official concept of the Jeff and Taylor story, or at least the beta version of the story, it happened back in November 16th, 2004. I was a freshman in high school. But to give you a complete history, I actually wrote it down in this wonderful book, Jeff and Taylor #1 G Station, which you can get it on Amazon. It's a lovely book. It's a lovely story. But I do have a brief history here, and I'm going to read it to you. Here we go. A part of me is happy that I took the self-publishing route, because you have control of the design of your book and what's in it, and you don't have to listen to, some Snoopy. I'm very glad I took the self-publishing route, because you have total control on what you want to put in your book. You get to design it, the logos, the layout, and, the overall theme of it, and I don't have to listen to a schmoopy editor, no. I'm very glad that I took the self-publishing route, because I have complete control on what goes into my books. I get to design it, and I get to design the layouts, and all the content, and no need to listen to an editor that can break my spirit, because that's what editors do. but yeah, I'm telling you guys, when I first published Volume 1, the first edition of Jeff and Taylor Volume 1, it was an exciting day. I actually have footage of that day, and you actually get to hear the excitement in my voice. I haven't been that excited in years. So that was September of 2012 when I opened the box containing this proof version. So yeah, that was a very proud achievement of mine. And then it went on. I couldn't stop, I was addicted. I went on to Volume 2 in 2013. Volume 3 in 2014. Volume 4 in 2016. I remember it was Halloween of 2016 when I got it in my hands. What a weird year that was, but nostalgic. And of course, Volume 5 in 2019. And then around there, I made some changes. I decided to remake Jeff and Taylor Episode 1 G Station, and I actually have this sold, or I'm selling this on Amazon. Figured it's a nice, easy way for readers around the world to purchase it, since Amazon is a convenient place, but I don't get a lot of money from it. I just want it published there for easy accessibility for my readers. And then it went on. Episode 2 remake. And Episode 3 remake. I was trying to do an accent, I don't know why. And here we go. My newest book that was released a couple months ago. Episode 4 remake. Party time. Party, party, party. We gotta have a party. And even though sales have been low, I still, don't regret putting it on Amazon. But since it is a special day, I decided to put but it's not going to be a book but it's not going to be on Amazon forever. In fact, in a couple weeks, it will be available to read on JeffandTaylorComic.com, along with the other remakes. And naturally, I redesigned Volume 1. In fact, all my volumes are going to look like this now, with the remakes, whatnot, and a design. Let me compare the first and second designs. I'll actually make a separate video going in depth about this, but you can see I had a lot more fun making this. This is a lot more dynamic. It catches your eye. It actually brings in new readers, like the boys are saying, hey, come on in, and then you see the characters right here, the supporting characters, in monochromatic, with the theme of the book, Volume 1. Volume 1 is always a yellow gold theme for a whole bunch of books that I've noticed. So, but right here, it's just the boys just posing. Not bad, but it's not spectacular. Even the back. In the remake, I had the main characters, the main 5 characters, just saying hi. And in here, it's just the boys hanging out with some random karate man. Because back then, I wanted to put the gag character in the back. What's the gag character? It's just this karate man appears in the background of each of the episodes. So I'm like, okay, I'll put the gag character of the volume in the back, hanging out with the boys. I did the same thing with the other volumes, so the old version of the volumes. Volume 5, it's just a fan. Volume 4, it's this random fancy man. Volume 3 is the stop sign. That's a funny running gag. And Volume 2 had Crazy Cat, which now Crazy Cat makes a cameo in every episode in the background because we just love him. We love Crazy Cat. But right here, this is an upgrade, a major upgrade. So I'm glad how this turned out, and I'm so excited to make future volumes. Volume 2, I plan to have it released next year. So yeah, it's fun, and of course everybody has their own path in life. So if you're a comic artist and you want to get published, if you want to get published by a major publishing house or a minor publishing house, if you think that's good for you, I'd say go for it. But if you want to go the self-publishing route, I recommend it wholeheartedly because you have control. You are in control of your destiny. You are a lion, an artistic lion that draws and writes comics, badass comics. And I believe in you. Jeff and Taylor believes in you. Cat Twan believes in you. These books, they are like a championship belt to a pro boxer. So I'd say keep on creating and make those books and sell them. Even if you have a few fans, it's very rewarding. I'm telling you. As a guy that sold, multiple books in these small conventions, writing autographs, selling them to young teenage boys, it's great. I really want Jeff and Taylor to be hitting big because it may be corny for me to say, but young boys, they need positive role models, male role models nowadays. And I believe Jeff and Taylor, they are a very positive influence. They can be a very positive influence to young men. Believe me. The boys can have their flaws, but they can recognize it. And they actually, if they mess up, they apologize. They respect girls. Look at the West End girls. They're busty, but none of the boys, Jeff and Taylor, they don't actually point it out. They don't laugh at them. They don't try to grope them or anything like that. They're very respectful. So, yeah, I really believe that if J&T is like mass published or something, and we actually push it to the young boys, age 13 to 18 demographic, it can really change society for the better. You know, I'm a firm believer in that. Yeah, that's just how